Live from the KWQC Broadcast Center in downtown Davenport with Morgan Otier and Kyle Keel. This is Quad Cities Live.
Today on the show, QCL Book Club is back. We're sharing our thoughts on our most recent read and revealing our next pick so you can read along with us.
Before you hit the road this summer, see what experts say you should do with your lawn and garden while you're gone. The University of Illinois Extension joins us with a helpful checklist.
And karaoke is getting competitive in the Quad Cities. We're talking with the founder of the QC Karaoke Championship about local talent, big prizes, and how you still have time to join the fun.
Hello and welcome to Quad Cities Live. It is Tuesday, June 3rd. Thank you so much for joining us this afternoon. I'm Kyle Keel alongside my co-host Morgan Otier. Well, from humble beginnings more than 30 years ago, a very popular small-town event is now drawing crowds by the thousands.
It is. This weekend, both Friday, June 6th and Saturday, June 7th, is the annual Rhubarb Festival in Aledo, Illinois. Joining us now with a sneak peek is Rusty Ruggles. Rusty, thanks for being here.
Yeah, thanks for having me.
Oh, we are excited to talk with you. It's a very big weekend.
It's a huge weekend.
It is the weekend, in Aledo and surrounding areas, quite frankly. So what do you think it is about the Rhubarb Festival, Rhubarb Fest, that makes it so special and also so unique compared to other festivals?
Well, I think Aledo's a great town, number one. I'm born and raised there, so I'm kind of biased in that regard, but it's free. You know, there's a couple things that cost, but most everything is free for the activities, and there's a lot of stuff going on. Everything's within walking distance, which is really important. And you know, as long as you get good weather, we've been really lucky with that. Yeah, it turns out to be a great weekend.
Yeah, and I think your weather's going to turn out pretty good here this weekend as well.
Yeah, you've got the inside scoop.
I've got the inside scoop. Yeah. So we'll talk more about that weekend forecast here in just a little bit. But yeah, you people from Aledo, you love Aledo.
Yeah.
And I love the small town pride. And everyone gets to see that when they come to Rhubarb Fest. So where's ground zero? Where's all the activity happening?
Central Park is ground zero. So the band shell's what I run with the entertainment. That's where all the stuff happens. Then we have our food court off of that. Everything's open downtown. The fire department's right next door and has the pancake breakfast. There's a trolley tour that goes, and that's free, that takes you around to the historic parts of Aledo. And it's just a really great event.
Yeah, it's really cool. Okay, so Aledo was officially named the Rhubarb Capital of Illinois. I did my research today, nearly 20 years ago. Tell us a little bit more about the rhubarb component of this. I mean, it is very much a festival. We're going to talk about the entertainment in just a minute.
Sure.
But it really still does, even all these years later, surround rhubarb.
Yes. Now, this festival started in a backyard of a house.
Yeah.
So this is our 33rd year of doing it. So each year it's gotten bigger and bigger and bigger. Yeah. And I moved away for a little bit and then came back and started helping in the late 90s, I guess, and started helping with the entertainment. And then through that, the band shell was built. And Darlene Johnson, of course, was the queen of the rhubarb, and she did all the stuff and was the organizer of it.
Yeah.
And she's such a great lady. She passed away, unfortunately, a couple years ago, but her legacy still lives on.
Yeah.
And a lot of that stuff wouldn't be there without her and her knowledge of all that.
It's very special.
Yeah, of course it wouldn't be a festival without live music, and so you're going to have plenty of live entertainment throughout the weekend as well.
You know, it's one of the most important parts of it, I think. Absolutely. So you just bring a chair, and we do have some bleachers set up, and you can come on Friday. We're going to start at 9 o'clock with Jason Partridge. He's a country artist from Andalusia. And then at 11 o'clock, we're going to have the Night Wranglers, which is a band that Levi Kraft has put together with some other fun people and do some country things. At 1 o'clock, we have the Beth Lozano Band, a great vocalist from the Quad Cities.
She also is great.
She is. And then at 3 to 5, we have the Incredible 45s. They're from Kewanee, and they play like music from the 60s and early 70s. So what we like to do on Friday is to do new stuff, and then on Saturday, this has been the same lineup for like a long time. So the jazz band at the high school that I run, we play in the morning at 10 o'clock. The Who's Dads play at noon, and then they play at noon. That's right after the pie eating contest, which is a fan favorite.
Oh yeah.
And then the Tailfins play their 50s music at 2:30 to 4:30.
Oh my goodness, yeah, that is a full weekend.
It is.
Of lots of live entertainment. So that's very, very exciting. And that is, you're going to be debuting something else really exciting this weekend, which is the Opera House.
That's correct, yes.
This is new.
It's a big deal.
My friend W.J. Albertson has been putting a lot of time and effort into the redoing of this opera house. It's been a long time coming.
Yeah.
So this
Look at
weekend it gets to open.
Oh, look how gorgeous.
I know, it's beautiful.
It is beautiful.
Oh my
And
gosh.
we've done a couple things in there already just to see if everything works, and it does, and it's wonderful.
Awesome.
And so this weekend will be the premiere on Friday at 4:15. There was an independent filmmaker that came down and made a movie about Aledo called
Oh.
Everything Fun to Do in Aledo, Illinois.
How fitting.
And
Yeah.
the movie's about an hour long. It's great, and the whole cast and Christina Shaver, who was the director or the creator of the movie, is going to be there, and Susie Bogus will be there as well. She's a country artist from Aledo, and she did the soundtrack. And
my gosh.
it's really going to
This
be a
is
big
special.
deal. So if you need tickets for any of those showings, we'll have 2 on Friday, and I believe 4 on Saturday. You can get those at AledoOperaHouse.com.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, we'll have
That
to check
is
out the
so
Aledo house.
exciting.
Yeah, and what a beautiful opera house that is.
Yeah,
so
it's
that's
really
all
great.
very exciting for Aledo, that's for sure. And you mentioned a little bit earlier the food court.
Oh, yeah.
It's been updated this year. So what's new?
If you came to Rhubarb last year, you understand the construction that was going on because it was
Okay.
pretty significant. And so now we have that whole parking lot area redone, and there's a little walkway, and it looks wonderful with lights and all this stuff. And so all of our food trucks and things like that are going to be in that area.
Okay.
It'll be easy to find. You know, on the other side of the block in the courthouse lawn on Saturday, it's all crafts and antiques. So there's a little bit for everybody. There's a
Yeah.
kids zone behind the band shell with inflatables and for them to play on.
Always
And then
fun.
the trolley's going to load from that new parking lot area and go take your tour, and
Wow.
lots of new stuff.
You guys have thought of everything. Like
Yeah.
everything is just it's covered already, and then there just continues to be something like new, exciting,
More
and
and
fresh
more.
every single year. And beyond even the food vendors that are going to be there in that food court area, just downtown Aledo has more and more to offer every
Yeah.
single year.
We've
There's
got-
lots of great small businesses.
Yes, lots of great small businesses, lots of great restaurants, lots of places to just go and kick back and enjoy, you know, a nice cold beverage if you'd like.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And and again, it's all within walking distance.
That's awesome.
And that's the most important thing. There is the museum's open, that's down the road, that's
Oh,
not
good.
within walking distance, but you can still get there. There's parking areas as you come into town. If you go to the website that Rhubarb Fest is on, we shuttle people in case parking is an issue,
great.
so we want people to be able to get in
Making it
there
easy.
as easy as we can.
That's very nice.
Yeah.
Awesome. Okay, well, Aledo's 33rd
Wow.
Rhubarb Fest is set for this Friday and Saturday. Admission to the festival is free, as Rusty mentioned. For a detailed schedule of events, I mean very detailed, every activity is listed. Just visit AledoRhubarbFest.com. Rusty, once again, thank you so much. And
Yeah, thank you
have
guys.
fun this
Yeah,
weekend.
we're gonna have a lot of fun.
absolutely.
Yeah, it will be a lot of fun, and the fun is going to continue coming up because one of the major Rhubarb Fest attractions is the cook-off contest. Chef Stephanie Gotke is the cook-off chair and one of the longtime judges. She is going to join us in the kitchen with those details coming up next on Quad Cities Live.
You're watching Quad Cities Live.
Well, Aledo's Rhubarb Fest is set for this weekend, and a major draw for these thousands of visitors that show up to this weekend is the Rhubarb Cook-Off Contest, which is happening on Saturday.
Yeah, so many different foods to try. And joining us with all the details for the cook-off is the cook-off contest chair and longtime judge, Chef Stephanie Gotke.
Hi.
Chef Steph.
Hi.
We always appreciate you when you're here in the QCL kitchen. And of course, we know you love Rhubarb Fest.
I do.
Yeah.
I
Everyone
do.
loves Rhubarb Fest.
Everybody loves Rhubarb Fest. It's so much fun.
Yeah.
And you know, the cook-off is a part of it that we really just have a lot of fun.
Yeah.
And
That's what it's all about.
it's not all about pie. We try
No.
to encourage people to use rhubarb in all these creative ways.
Yeah.
They have, I mean, so much is going on downtown.
Yeah.
And we have celebrity judges.
Yes.
Yes.
We have Jake Eastburn. And yay, Jakey. And we
Round of
have,
applause, round of
Jake right
applause.
now. You guys can't see Jake.
Shaking
I can
his
see Jake.
head.
and we have Kyle Dickens.
Yeah.
Oh, yes.
Fan favorite.
He
Everybody
did that
loves-
last year, right?
Yeah, he did.
He did.
Okay.
yeah.
How do you do?
Oh,
first
great,
year. Okay.
great.
I feel like that'd be tough.
Yeah.
Really, you know, and none of us are judgy people, but it's so fun.
It's an
be-
opportunity.
Yeah.
Hard job, I think.
It's
With all
a
these
very
delicious
hard.
recipes.
It is. That's why we don't swallow the food. Because if you swallowed like the first bite of
She's
pie,
sharing the tricks.
then
Yeah.
you would be like you'd be really tired of pie by the time you get to the last pie.
Tired of pie is a really nice way of putting it. No, I love when you share those little inside tips and tricks with us, especially since Jake needs the info, so he's
does,
hearing
yeah.
that right now. And
Oh.
Taking the notes.
I wouldn't have known that. I just would have assumed everybody's taking little tiny bites of everything and then just having stomach aches.
Yeah. Well, no, we don't do that. But we try
fast for
not to
24
because it's
hours.
not fair to the last thing.
No,
Sure.
you're right.
But we have a division for everything. We have a division for miscellaneous. So if you make it with rhubarb, we will judge it.
Yeah.
And you might win a gift certificate to the Alito. All the merch is on this souvenir shop.
We all love the merch.
And we have a lot of merch here today. There's a cookbook. There's all these cool shirts.
Yeah.
Big old mug. Really, really cool stuff in the shop.
And that's what we can win. If
You can win.
Okay.
And there's a division for under 15. So if you've got a child that really loves to cook, they don't have to compete against adults.
Okay.
We also have a professional division. So hopefully the restaurants and some of the people who cook and make and bake cakes professionally
Yeah.
bring their stuff, and that's bragging rights.
Yeah.
You can put that on your business card.
I love this one. Here, we're showing the shirts right now, and I know it's kind of like hard to see, but I love
This one
this
with the
one.
Nice
logo.
logo on it.
Yeah,
Yeah.
with the logo on it. That one is so super cool.
Yeah.
Let's talk about the categories
Yeah.
though. So
Okay.
you kind of like breezed over them a little bit. Now, people can still enter the competition. So
Walk
this is
in.
important information.
Yes, you just walk into the train depot. The old depot has been completely restored.
Okay.
Mr. Albertson lets us use that, and so between 9 and 11, 10:30,
Yeah.
we want you to bring everything in.
Okay.
We will find a category. If you don't know what category it
We'll
belongs
tell
in,
ya.
we'll
We'll
let
take a little look and be like, you
Right.
know what, it'll fit into the
Well, here
they
crumbles
are.
and crisps.
people will say it's a crisp, and I will go, really? Because it looks more like a cobbler. But we we fit it in. And then, like I said, miscellaneous is going to bring in a lot of things. Like this time I made rhubarb salsa.
Oh yeah, look at that. I mean,
Trying-
this looks
Try it.
Trying to
I think
make
so,
people
yeah.
realize that anything you use a tomato for, you can use rhubarb.
which makes sense.
It has the complete acid that you need for. We made chili last time.
Yeah,
This
which
time
was incredible.
salsa, and
when you make
it's
that.
pretty interesting, isn't it?
Is it good?
Got a
It's
lot.
very good.
Good. Glad you like
very
it.
good.
Yeah.
There's pulled pork barbecue with Ruby Q sauce.
Ruby Q. I
Easy
love
for
how
me to
you,
say.
Yeah. I love how you do that.
Ruby Q sauce, and
I've had that before. It's really good.
and then I made
can't take a big
ruby
sandwich right
rolls.
Ruby rolls.
This is what I want to try too.
Okay, so that
Look
is
at that.
a cinnamon roll without the cinnamon in the center. I put rhubarb in the center, and then I made rhubarb frosting. So they are pink, and
They're beautiful.
they
beautiful.
turned out really cute. But I
Yes.
want people to know that this is really, you spread your wings.
Yeah.
Be creative. Use your imagination. Anything you can think of. If you make it with rhubarb, we'll find a category for it. We even had rhubarb jerky, beef jerky with,
interesting.
oh my gosh, it was so good.
Okay, and you made these.
I
what are you
did.
calling them again?
Rubaritas, right?
Rhubarita.
Rhubarita.
I tested it last night. It's very
Okay.
good.
What,
You tested it a couple times.
I
right?
did. I had to make sure. Quality
Right.
control.
Of course, absolutely.
what
so it's-
category would this go in?
Miscellaneous.
Miscellaneous.
Yes, it's a beverage, and we will drink it. Jacob,
You don't have to spit this
I was going
out.
to say, you won't spit that one
no,
out.
Jake and Kyle and I will probably go ahead and have a little.
And have a little sip.
Yeah.
let's
Okay.
do cheers
Well,
now.
Cheers.
Cheers
Yes,
to that.
cheers.
Absolutely.
It's got Mississippi River vodka in it. It's got River Pilot vodka, triple sec, rhubarb juice, and lime juice. Just like a margarita, only with rhubarb.
Oh yeah, it does taste like a margarita.
I would order this anytime.
Absolutely.
off
Would
the
you?
menu.
Well,
yes.
come on over to the house. I know how to make them now.
Perfect.
Frozen on the rocks.
I'll be there.
Oh, I can do
We're at
that too.
Yeah. Let's do it all.
So anyway, we want you to be creative. We want you to come, have fun. The judges and I will be on the stage at 2,
Okay.
announcing the winners.
Okay.
The winners get their gift card. They run over and get some cool merch.
Yeah. Okay. Just as easy as that.
Yeah.
It's very easy. No pre-registration. Just walk into the train station. Away we go.
Okay,
All
and I
right.
have a question about, so with the categories, and I've always wondered this. So the first division is pies and pies only, which are obviously like a super popular thing that people have been doing for years and years. How does somebody stand out if they're making
Yeah.
a pie?
We go by texture. The first and most important thing is, does it taste more like rhubarb than any other? Oh, Kyle's going for the cinnamon.
I'm going
for the
for the
ruby
cinnamon.
roll.
I thought he was just leaving.
No.
Yeah,
I gotta try
show
this.
over. Kyle gone. Anyway, we would judge it on texture and taste.
Okay.
But first ingredient must be rhubarb. So, like, if you make a rhubarb peach pie, delicious, by the way, but we need to taste rhubarb.
Okay.
And if you make a rhubarb, let's say you use blueberries.
Yeah.
Beautiful, tastes great together, but we need to taste the
that
rhubarb.
rhubarb.
Then the
That's good.
texture, like, is the crust, do you need a jackhammer to get through the crust? If you
Okay.
do, probably not going to be a winner.
Okay.
It needs to be flaky. And
Tip straight from the
Yeah.
judge.
right?
Yeah, and you know, I believe it or not, even though I don't know how to bake or anything, I love those baking shows. And yes, the judges, if they do not taste that ingredient that they're looking for,
You're out.
You're out.
But I do taste the rhubarb
Fired.
in this, and it's
Do
very,
you?
very good.
Well, good. Thank
With
you.
the, you said you put it
Inside the spray
cinnamon
roll.
and
Yeah,
then
on the
the
frosting.
frosting. Oh,
Now,
And-
don't be fooled. I'm eating one too, but I'm going to wait till I'm done talking.
yes, to where you don't have to take the
But
tiny TV bites, right?
Yeah, that's right. Afterwards, everybody comes and they all
Yeah.
eat the food.
Oh,
There's
yeah.
The
no,
food
never
afterward.
leftovers at the Quad City Live stage.
No,
I'm sure.
You are right about that.
We love it.
So it's a great weekend,
Yeah.
and there's the website. So if anybody wants any additional information, again, this is this Friday and Saturday in downtown Aledo, the entire Rhubarb Fest. But the actual cook-off is on Saturday. If you still want to enter, you absolutely can. Chef Steph just told us about that. Just make sure that you bring your entry like somewhere between 9 and 10, 10:30 or something.
Walk
Be
in,
Be on the
creative.
safe side.
be creative, and don't throw your food.
I was going
Kyle.
to say, don't throw the rhubarb all over the place.
It's out
Way
of
too
control.
excited. Yeah, out of control.
Out of
But
control.
it's so much fun. I just want everybody to come and have fun.
Yeah.
It's
Always a good time.
Yeah,
They will.
it is.
They will. All right. Well, Chef, thank you so much.
Thank you.
Thank you guys for
Appreciate it.
having me.
Yes. And just ahead on Quad Cities Live, the Davenport Library is here and ready to review our most recent read as part of the QCL Book Club. We're also going to choose our next book for the month of June. Stick with us next.
Quad Cities Live continues.
It is time for another chapter of our QCL Book Club, and this month we are wrapping up our thoughts on This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. It's a will they, won't they romance that takes place over several summers with lots of other themes dealing with family and friendship. Joining me as always is Brittany Peacock from the Davenport Public Library. Brittany, thank you so much for being here today.
So glad to be here.
Yes, we are so glad to have you as usual. Okay, so This Summer Will Be Different by Carly Fortune. You brought a hard copy with you here today. So now that we've both read it, tell us a little bit about it, I guess without totally giving it away.
Absolutely. So main character Lucy gets invited to her best friend's family home in Prince Edward Island. And her best friend gives her 3 rules. Eat as much seafood as you possibly can, leave the city behind, and don't fall in love with her brother.
Yes.
Well,
Rule number 3.
very important rule
Yeah.
that Lucy's trying very hard not to break. But
Yeah, and we can only imagine kind of what happens throughout the book. It's very good.
It's beautiful.
So you liked it then?
I did. So I do have to warn any reader, there's a lot of open door romance in this book.
Yeah.
A lot of steamy scenes, but you know, if you know what to expect when you're getting into it, and I really loved it. I loved the pictures that Carly Fortune was painting. You know, I feel like I was in Prince Edward Island.
Yes,
And
I will agree with you. It made me want to go there.
Yes.
So badly. And I'm Canadian, so it's a Canadian province, PEI.
Yeah.
And I've always wanted to visit. It's like East Coast, like when you think of like Maine or something like that, and lobster and oysters and all of that, and just beautiful scenery. So she does an amazing job of like, she should be on their tourism board because now I want to visit. But beyond that, I like that there were other themes. So if you are someone who gets a little bit annoyed by that type of a romance, you know, first of all, don't pick this book, but there are other things there for you. I really liked the friendship.
oh, her friendship was
Yeah.
so beautiful with Bridget.
I
Yes.
agree. So
Yes.
that was a really like wholesome thing to read and very, very good. And there's just some like little surprises throughout.
Yes, and being honest with the ones that you love,
Yeah.
you know, and not being afraid that they won't love you back if you're honest.
Yes.
I think that that's a really good message.
It was good. I really enjoyed it. I was very happy when I was done reading it. I thought it was great. Okay, so let's talk a little bit about our choices for the month of June. And you do a really great job with themes. So it is Great Outdoors Month, and for that we have You Have a Match by Emma Lord. Another one is Best Friends Day, which is June 8th. And What Have We Done by Alex Finley. Father's Day, June 15th, of course, mark your calendars. The Unsinkable Greta James by Jennifer Smith. And then Summer Solstice, which is June 20th this month, The Beach at Summerlee by Beatrice Williams. So those are all of our choices, and they're all good. So it's really hard to actually choose which one we're finally going to do. But drum roll, please. We have chosen this one, What Have We Done by Alex Finley.
Yes.
Okay, so I know we are both getting started on this book at the same time.
Yes, we are.
So tell us a little bit about what you know about this book for anybody that wants to read along with us.
Absolutely. So 3 best friends who met each other living in a group home for teenagers who didn't have parents or have had abusive parents. They meet up 25 years later. they are trying to outrun someone who's trying to kill them.
So it's a little bit of like a thriller, which you know, I like a thriller every now and again.
Yes,
So I'm really excited about this one, and it seems like a really interesting storyline and not something that I've read before or recently.
Yes.
So I'm looking forward to getting into that. So pick yours up, whether you buy it from a bookstore or you check it out from the public library. We would love for you to read along with us, and of course, always give us comments. We like to read those comments on air when you guys do email us about it. Okay, we have some other library events that we want to talk about today. So Touch a Truck is part of the whole summer reading kickoff, and that's coming up this weekend.
On Saturday. So we have our annual Touch a Truck event at our Fairmont location. Our first hour is going to be sensory friendly. So
very nice.
No horns, no flashing lights. It'll be a wonderful event that starts at 9:30, and then at 10:30, that's when you can expect the honking horns, the lights.
Okay.
Our Fairmont Community Center is actually going to be run. It's going to be open. Parks Department's going to have some sensory-friendly activities in there. So if you do need a quiet space, that's a really wonderful option. But it's going to be a really great.
Yeah, that is really fun. And the kiddos love that. They get some cool opportunities as well. Sometimes they get to get in or honk a horn or something like that. So it's great. Then we have the pet adoption educational program. So you guys are partnering with the Humane Society of Scott County for this.
Yes. So our friends of the Scott County Humane Society are going to be coming in and talking about just some helpful tips and tricks when you're looking to maybe adopt a new friend for your home, what to expect, what you should have ready. And then after they're done with the talk, they're actually bringing in some adoptable pets into the library. So, you know, I highly recommend this if you're looking to add somebody to love in your house, to definitely check this out.
Well, I know a lot of people are thinking about it. It's a good time of year to do it. It is kitten season, so they're always looking for people to adopt cats and kittens, but also foster them. And so if you don't know what that means, if you haven't seen our interviews with different shelters around town, you'll have an opportunity to learn more about that at this event. So that is wonderful. That's on the 14th at, I believe it was 2 p.m. Then there's a teen DIY, and that is later in the month. That is Monday, June 23rd. You do want to register for this event.
Yes, you do. You're learning about paper quilling. So this graphic is kind of an example of maybe something similar to what you will be doing in this program. This is open to teens ages 11 through 19. As Morgan said, it's registration required, but it's a wonderful opportunity to learn a new art form and get to take it home with you.
Yeah, be a little crafty and learn something new. I wish I was more crafty. I mean, Darby has a whole big craft box, and she pulls it out, and I don't even know where to start. I'm like, we could just put googly eyes on whatever.
It's overwhelming.
Yes, it's overwhelming.
I need Pinterest to tell me what to do.
It would be nice to know how to do some stuff. Brittany always comes in and talks to us a little bit about the children's books that she's loving and what you read to the little kiddos at the library. And these ones are about nature.
Nature, yes, all nature themed, about taking hikes. Yes, so Morgan's holding up actually my favorite book of all time. We have a plan. It's so fun to read aloud to the young people. They're hunting a bird, and they finally get to the point where the bird comes to them and they don't have enough bread for all the bird's friends. So it's super sweet. I love it very much.
That's adorable.
We have a hungry bird here at the end. This is what it would be like to hike with me. Bird didn't bring enough water or any snacks. And so Bird is asking all of his friends to provide him with snacks, and he doesn't like those snacks. So then he gets very dramatic and falls down.
Yes, I love that.
It's hilarious, it's adorable. Just so much fun opportunities to share nature with kiddos. All of these can go on a reading log for summer reading, just a shameless plug for summer reading.
Summer reading, it's the whole level up for summer reading. So attend the kickoff and get your kiddos signed up so that they're doing something with those brains over the summer months. And a reminder for everybody watching, if you do want to read with us, be sure to join our group on Goodreads. It's a really great place where you can kind of rate the books that you've read and keep track of them. Just search groups for QCL Book Club. There's also a link to join our book club on our website, so head to kwqc.com and click the tab for Quad Cities Live, and you will find it at the top of the page there. Brittany, as always, thank you so much for just putting all of this together for us. It's a lot of work, but we appreciate it.
I love it. It's so fun.
Thank you so much. Still to come in our second half hour, some easy steps to take before you leave for summer vacation that can save your lawn and garden. Plus, big voices, big energy, and even bigger community spirit. How the QC Karaoke Championship is turning barroom singing into full-scale performances.
Accurate and reliable. This is your First Alert forecast with meteorologist Kyle Keel.
Well, today is the First Alert day as we continue to track that potential for some strong to severe storms through about 8 o'clock. Maybe some storms lingering until 9 o'clock, but they should be exiting the viewing area by that point in time. Damaging wind going to be your primary threat. 60, maybe up to 70-mile-per-hour winds and some isolated gusts. Large hail up to the size of quarters a possibility, and we can't rule out a spin-up tornado either, although I think the higher threat of tornadoes will be off to our southwest and northern portions of Missouri. We're also tracking moderate to heavy rain, which I know a lot of you have been asking for. I think we're finally going to get it for many of our hometowns, especially east of the Mississippi River. The latest update from the Storm Prediction Center has that level 2 slight risk from the Quad Cities. Muscatine points off to the south and west. That's kind of been the focal point for the strongest storms here as we head into the evening hours. After a round of rain earlier this morning, we dried out, and some of us seeing a few peaks of sunshine here this afternoon. A breezy and humid afternoon as well. We've got those winds right now anywhere from 10 to 20 miles per hour. At the airport in Moline, the temperatures recovered to about 78 degrees. Dew point, though, 69 degrees. So ample amounts of moisture in the atmosphere that's fueling these storms that are developing off to our southwest and certainly leading to that potential for some heavy rain. We have those south winds right now at about 16 miles per hour. So First Alert live Doppler radar shows the local area staying nice and dry, but we've got some showers developing here off to our northwest, some thunderstorms near the Iowa-Missouri state line, and it's off to the southwest of there that we've had quite a few severe thunderstorms producing some damaging wind, even a tornado a little bit earlier south of Kansas City. So this line of storms will continue to develop here into portions of southeastern Iowa over the next couple of hours. This is all ahead of a cold front that will be slowly migrating to the east. So everywhere ahead of that is where we have that potential severe weather. And again, around that I-80 corridor near the Quad Cities and points off to the south would be the highest threat for any storm to turn severe. So Exact Track, it's trying to fire off maybe a couple of storms out ahead of that boundary and out ahead of that main complex of storms early on. But I really think that our main threat is going to come with that line that's developing here. So notice here, approaching the Mississippi River about 6 p.m. So areas like Mount Pleasant, Burlington, Muscatine, between 6 and 7 o'clock. That's when you should prepare for some storms. And then as we head off to the east between 7 and 8 from the Quad Cities and points to the east, Galva, Kewanee, Galesburg, even over toward Princeton. That's when you could be seeing the strongest of the storms. Again, that severe threat winds down after 8 o'clock, and then this turns into mainly a rain event afterwards, especially near the Mississippi River and points off to the east. We'll continue with that potential for rain here during the overnight. Most of this wraps up early tomorrow morning, tracks to our east, and then we have those northerly winds take over, and that's going to lead us to the potential of some air quality issues with that wildfire smoke. So a quick check of your rainfall forecast does show temperature, or I should say rainfall totals, up to a ½ inch to maybe 1 inch west of the river. East of the river, though, we could see 1 to 2, potentially even up to 3 inches of rainfall. So a quick check of the smoke density in the air, very high levels of smoke in the mid to upper levels of the atmosphere here as we head through Tuesday evening and heading into Wednesday. I think the worst of it's going to be early Wednesday morning. Some of that could translate down to the surface, leading to some air quality issues. So stay with TV6, download the First Alert weather app, not only for updates on severe weather, but updates on the air quality here for tomorrow. Highs tomorrow will recover into the lower to middle 70s. Lower humidity as well, up to near 80 on Thursday. Chance for rain late Thursday night into Friday, and then yet another chance for rain, maybe even a couple of thunderstorms here on Sunday. But right now, not looking at a widespread rain on Sunday, but certainly something that we're going to continue to watch. But Saturday right now looks to be the pick of the weekend with some low humidity and temps close to 80 degrees. So just keeping a close eye to the skies here later this evening, Morgan.
Yeah, of course, we never want anything bad to happen, but you know, many of us are excited about the rain. Our next segment actually is going to be about lawns and gardens, and I think a lot of us are ready for a little bit more moisture.
Yeah, and I think a lot of us will be out there mowing those lawns here heading into the weekend, that's for sure.
We absolutely will. All right, Kyle, thank you.
You're welcome.
Well, coming up next on QCL, if you're headed out of town this summer, take a look at your lawn and garden before zipping up your suitcase. The Illinois Extension Office is here with 5 simple ways to keep your yard healthy while you're away.
Quad Cities Live continues.
Summer travel is now picking up, and many of us are looking forward to getting out of town. But what about your lawn and garden while you're away? A little prep before you pack can save you from coming home to a dried out yard, overgrown weeds, or even pest problems. Back with us today is Emily Swihart, horticulture educator with the University of Illinois Extension. Emily, welcome back.
Thanks for having me.
Yes, well, this just happened to me. So I was just telling you before we started, I went out of town for a couple days over the weekend, and when I came back, like, my first thought was, how are my plants doing? Because I just got these things in the ground and some perennials as well. And I'm like, you know, we didn't get a lot of rain over the weekend. So in your own words, why is it so important to really think ahead when it comes to your yard and your garden before you leave town?
Well, I mean, vacations are exciting, right? And you're packing and you're making sure you have all the stuff you need. You have your plane tickets or swimsuits or sunscreen. But when you come back home, you're on that high of a vacation, but it can be really frustrating to come home to a landscape that is overrun by weeds, or like your plants that you have taken care of so well for so long are now suffering.
Yeah.
I may or may not be speaking from experience.
Yeah,
So
I mean, I think we've all kind of been there. So you're gonna provide us today with some tips to prepare our gardens and our yards before vacation. The first one is mow your grass like you normally would.
Yes. Okay. So you know the lawn, we're mowing it already. Nothing changes really, except for maybe trying to mow it and time it like right before you leave, especially if you're going on an extended vacation.
Okay.
The grass is going to keep growing, so you know, just cutting it quicker or closer to when you're leaving would be great.
Okay.
We do not want to like change how we're mowing.
Okay.
The recommendations from a colleague has this like really nice way of remembering how to mow your lawn, which is mow it high, mow it often, and use a sharp blade.
Okay.
Just do that.
Yeah,
Like, you
don't
wanna
try and
cut-
mow it really short.
No, that could stress the plant, and actually you could cause a lot of damage. And when you get back, you might have like a dormant lawn, which is not what we're looking for. And so
That's
just,
something you do like in the fall or something, right? Or mow it
No,
short?
you don't really want to ever mow
wanna do
your
it at
lawn
all.
like, too short.
Yeah.
Because you want those plants to do some photosynthesis and keep growing.
Okay, yeah, okay, so don't do that. I
Yep.
think that's a good tip, yeah.
Yeah. All right. So then, where there's not turf grass growing, let's talk about how we want to water. Unless you
Yeah.
have irrigation for the lawn, we're not going to talk about that today. But your perennials or your potted plants, indoors or outdoors, they might need water. They might need supplemental water.
Okay.
And you might not be able to provide it.
Right.
I have a neighbor. That's one thing. If you have a neighbor or a trusted friend, like they're worth $1 million.
Yeah, if they'll go over there and do
Yes.
that and pull the hose out for you
Yes,
or whatever.
if you
yeah.
don't. Especially potted containers. So I just brought a very small scale version of this, but you can put them into like a plastic container or a kiddie pool outdoors.
Oh, yeah.
Group them together. We talked about this last time. All these containers have drainage.
Yeah.
And so you can have water sitting in there and it can help provide some supplemental water.
Okay.
If you're not able to lift the containers into
Right.
An area, but you still can move your containers, put them in a shaded area,
Okay.
and cluster them together in a shaded area just to try to reduce that transpiration and water loss that's
Okay,
happening.
all right.
Yep. And so that's, you know, or for your vegetable garden, deep water. Like I've got the hose here.
Right.
Before you leave, if we don't have rain in the forecast, soak the garden.
That was my
Get
question.
that moisture right down,
you
like
can't
deep into the soil.
transport them. Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so
Yep.
lots of water before
Yep.
you leave.
Lots of water, and mulch can help.
Okay.
Big proponent of mulch. It helps keep moisture in the soil. It helps keep the soil cooler.
Yeah.
So you're not going to be losing as much to evaporation. And
Okay.
so that can all kind of compound the effects
It'll
of
all
having
help.
moisture in the water, or in the
Okay.
soil.
And then the next one, get ahead of your weeds.
Oh boy, yeah, this
Yeah.
is a challenge all year
This
long.
is a challenge when I'm not on vacation.
Yes,
So.
yeah. If you can, get ahead of your weeds, your weeding. Make sure that you are you have a clean garden when you're leaving.
Okay.
Because those weeds will continue to grow, and especially if you're gone for an extended period of time, you're
Yes.
right? They
Quite
could really
large.
take over.
Yeah.
Yeah, and so you could just do mechanical, weeding with your garden, like hoe or tiller, get in there.
Yeah.
There are some pre-emergent herbicides that you can use, which is like a treatment to the soil that helps prevent weeds from germinating.
Okay.
If they're already growing, it's not going to help reduce them, but you'll have seeds in there that can germinate.
Okay.
That's a treatment you can use, but really just try to get ahead. Mulch again, I guess, would work
Mulch
to help.
again.
To help. I'm
Get
going to
ahead
say
of the
mulch a
weeds.
lot.
Yeah, mulch
Yeah.
a lot. Mulch can help tamp them down.
Yeah. So those are the weeds. There's other pests in their garden, pests and diseases. Scout for those. You should be
Okay.
doing this all the time, but especially if you're going to be leaving. If you see even the slightest signs of any pests starting to emerge in the garden, take action, because they can multiply really quickly. They can cause a lot of damage, whether they're feeding on the foliage
Right.
or detrimental to the plant health while you're gone. And
Okay.
so there's some chemicals. There's a lot of different ways you can do it, just physically removing. Read the labels. If you're
Yeah.
going to be using any sort of chemical, any sort of treatment on the land, landscape, read the labels. It is the law. You have to follow the rate, the application time and conditions.
Okay.
And so all the information is there. And if anybody has questions, they're welcome
can
to
reach
call.
out to you guys.
Yeah.
Okay. And,
Yep.
and finally, Deadhead Flowers, harvest your veggies before you leave as well, if they need it, right?
Yes. Yeah. So I brought this, lackluster rose looking here. It had a beautiful bloom probably a couple weeks ago, and now they're spent. And I've also got a basil in here I'll pull out. So you want to go through and remove, especially on like your herbs and stuff, like we don't want them to flower, period,
Right.
especially while you're gone. So you would want to prune those off, same as your roses or any plants that you want to continue to produce a product. So roses would be the blooms, tomatoes, peppers, any vegetable crop. You want to harvest that, because if they're left on there, they're just taking energy from the plant.
Okay.
And sacrificing potentially future harvests.
Okay.
So in the case of the rose, you will have blooms later on if you deadhead and remove those.
Okay.
And you're not going to be enjoying them now, so go ahead and take them off when
So
you're
you
on
can take 'em
vacation.
off. Okay.
Yeah. Yep. And so you would just cut down, down to a leaf node. Yep.
Right
Right
here.
in there.
Okay.
Yep. And you would take them off. You can go. Yeah.
Deadhead this for you?
Yep. Yep.
Okay.
For produce in the garden, especially if you're like later in the season with your produce.
Is that right?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's great. Yep.
Okay.
Perfect. Produce in the garden, so when it starts to produce like all like your peppers and your beans and your peas or whatnot.
Yeah.
If you can't use them, donate them.
Yeah.
Donate them to a food pantry. There's such need.
Yeah.
Give them to a friend.
Yeah, and friend or a neighbor.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yep.
really easy to do that. People are always looking for that stuff. So, yeah. Okay.
Yes.
Well, gosh, great tips today. And meantime, if you want to stay up to date on Extension events and announcements, or get in touch with Emily and her colleagues, visit the University of Illinois Extension website right there on your screen. As always, just amazingly useful information. Emily, thank you for being here.
My pleasure.
Thank you very much. Coming up, if you think karaoke is just for fun, think again. In the Quad Cities, it's a full-blown competition, and it is heating up this summer. We're talking to the founder of the Quad Cities Karaoke Championship next.
Coming up tomorrow on Quad Cities Live, local singer-songwriter Angela Meyer is working on a new album. We'll get a preview and a live performance.
And Henry County is gearing up for the annual Levitt Amp Galva Music Series. We'll learn more about how this popular series began and get details on upcoming entertainment. That and much more Wednesday at 3 on QCL. Whether you are a shower singer, a stage performer, or simply a supporter of local talent,
Yes.
the Quad Cities Karaoke Championship is hitting all the right notes.
Yes, it is. And what started as a very fun competition has actually grown into a very high-energy, community-driven event that is showcasing some serious vocal power across the QCA. And here to tell us more about it is Chris Pierce. He is the founder and the organizer of the championship. Chris, welcome back to the show.
Thanks for having me. Yeah,
Okay,
this is awesome.
So this is going to be the third year of the Quad Cities Karaoke
We're in our third year.
Championship.
We've officially kicked it off. So it started in
Okay.
May. And so we're going through our next round of qualifiers in June, starting
right.
Yeah.
Thursday. Thursday and Friday.
Thursday
Yeah.
and Friday.
Yeah.
All right, that's when this all kicks off. So, this started, just a few years ago, 2023.
Yep.
What was the idea behind creating this championship?
I'll tell you, it was just a fun thing. We just wanted to have a good time and showcase some karaoke. Did not expect it to grow like it
People
did.
love karaoke, though.
People love karaoke, and there's some really, really good singers out there.
Oh, sure.
I mean,
A lot of talent.
I mean, you've seen quite a few of them.
Yeah, you were a judge, Morgan.
Yeah, you're.
was.
Yes.
Yeah, I got to judge. Well, I really put you in a corner.
Right here on this
last
show.
year, Right here
I
on
had to go
the
back
show.
and watch it. Did I
We were
promise?
sitting
Did I
right-
agree?
Yeah, we were sitting right here, and I said, Chris, let me be a judge
Yeah.
for the finals, and I was blown away, absolutely blown away. First of all, it was held at Rhythm City, correct?
Yeah.
And they
yeah.
really, like, the whole stage that they had set up and everything, it was like you were at a live taping of American Idol or The Voice or something like that.
Yeah.
And every single performer was fabulous.
Yes.
Did a great job. So, and I just don't think I could do it. Like, I don't think I could get up there and do what they did. It
Not
takes
me.
so much courage and bravery.
It does.
It really does. Like,
More
it's,
power to everyone who can. 'Cause
yeah,
Yeah.
it's
Yeah.
Put
really
yourself out
cool.
there.
But tell us a little bit about the structure of the championship, because it really
Absolutely.
does go through the summer into the fall.
Yes.
And it really allows for a lot of people to compete.
Yeah, absolutely. So this year we did something a little different. Instead of having 50 bars and venues, we did 25 with 2 qualifiers each.
Okay.
Which gives us the same amount of contestants. So we still have 100 contestants going through the qualifiers, and then the next round. Last year they were the playoffs. This year we call them the quarterfinals because they're elimination rounds, right? So our actual qualifiers end August 28th, and then quarterfinals start August 29th. So we still have the quarterfinals, playoffs, right? After that, we have 2 rounds of semis, and then the finale, which is November 7th at Rhythm City, and the semis will be there too.
Yeah, this is exciting.
Yeah, and there's our.
Yeah, there's a list on the screen of some of the qualifying locations. So these are some really great partnerships that you have with local bars and establishments.
Yes, and so the first year, of course, we had to, reach out and say, hey, hi, I'm Chris. I have this idea. I need your bar for a second, right? And so now, this year we were able to kind of put it out there and have a deadline, and people reached out to us, and,
that's awesome.
and we locked them in. So as you can see, I mean, people are having a good time with this, and we get a lot of people asking, what song do you think I could sing, or I should sing? Like, don't ask me. I don't want to tell you what song I can sing.
You don't want to be responsible for that.
If you don't make it through, you're going to blame me. But it's fun. It's fun, and people are very competitive. What I want to say about last year is that the bonding between each, especially with the semis and up to the finalists, they were in the backstage. They were just bonding. They all connected and giving each other high fives, and it
they
didn't
were really
matter.
rooting for each other.
Yeah, absolutely, absolutely.
And as you mentioned, we have growing talent here in the Quad Cities. So I'm sure you'll have a lot of returning people who maybe competed last year.
We're already seeing them. Some of our finalists are already in the qualifiers for this year.
Really?
Yeah.
That's great to hear. That's great to hear.
Yeah.
So talk about the role of judges, because of course we want fairness across the board.
Absolutely. And we have transparency. So on our website, we actually have a judge's criteria, so you know exactly what you're coming into, right? But it's stage presence and vocals. So your stage presence, you get 5 points. It's 1 to 5 points, and vocals is up to 10. And so there's solid scoring sheets, and we share scores. So if you want to know what you had was an opportunity, we're there for you. We'll share that with you individually.
Let them know. Okay, so I know you said you won't help people pick out their songs.
No.
For them, that would be a lot of pressure for you.
Yeah.
But like any karaoke tips, I know that you are a singer.
Yes, you are.
I know that you work with a lot of singers. So we have about a minute left of the show.
Okay.
Any little tips for anybody that really wants to try and make their mark and compete?
Okay, so for all those people out there that actually sing American Pie, you probably shouldn't do that.
Okay.
Is it 6 minutes? Is 8 minutes? I don't know, but it's a long song.
It's a long one.
I think also trying the big powerhouse singers, if you don't have the vocal ability to do that, you probably shouldn't do it. And don't try something new. That's not the time you're trying to get into a championship, so don't try anything new.
Those are good
Try
tips.
that at home.
Those are great tips. Thank you.
Definitely. Well, as we mentioned, the 2025 Quad Cities Karaoke Championship, it is underway right now. Qualifying rounds are happening, and you can scan that QR code there at the bottom of your screen for more information, or you can head to QuadCitiesKaraokeChampionship.com for all the details on how you can get involved. Chris, as always, we appreciate you joining us, and sounds like a lot of fun the next few months.
Hey, thanks for having me.
Absolutely.
It's exciting.
Thank you very much.
Yes.
Absolutely. And thank you so much for watching.
Your local news at 4 with Sharon DeRique is coming up next. We'll see you here tomorrow.